This is the amazing SIRUI 35mm f1.8 1.33 times anamorphic lens for mirrorless cameras. SIRUI were kind enough to send me this prototype lens to try out, to make something interesting with, so that they could use it to promote it for their Indiegogo campaign, which launches today. Now, last time I partnered with SIRUI was actually to make a review of their 50mm anamorphic lens that they made, which is basically like the little brother of this one. And following the success of that, they decided to make a 35 anamorphic as well, but with a few differences. This one is a much superior lens in many ways. First of all, the build quality, as with the 50mm, is just amazing. This thing, you could throw it at a wall and it would probably break the wall, and then the wall after that in this kind of like Thanos chain of events that would just, it would ruin your deposit. You'd have to move without ever getting your deposit back. No, I mean, it's built like a tank. This thing is solid, which is really nice because it shows that SIRUI are actually targeting professionals. They're not looking for someone who wants a really light lens to take out on the street. They want something that can actually be put into production where it might get knocked around a little bit. Another really nice addition is that while they're not attached, they've included these nice fit snug to size gear rings for your aperture and for your focus. Whereas before it was one of those kind of like zip tie ones where you have to lever it in until it's tight enough. Nah, none of that now. Now you slip it on until it's nice and wedged, and you've got these nice gears, which works brilliantly with the two follow focuses I use. The one on the gimbal on the Moza Aircross 2, which has the little Moza iFocus M, works perfectly with that. And then also the Nucleus Nano, beautifully there as well. I was actually using both of those in that sequence you just watched. So when I was doing handheld stuff, I had the Nucleus Nano, and then it was super quick to change out the focus motor on the Nucleus Nano for the focus motor on the iFocus M. And they worked really quickly and really easily with this. So in terms of changing out stuff, you don't have to change the caliber of the gears. It uses a standard. I'm really pleased that they stuck with the 67mm mount because it means that I can continue using my filters, because I have various ND filters, not variable, various, but I have various ND filters which are 67 thread because that's what the majority of my lenses are, although I might have to start stepping up because I'm getting bigger lenses. But that certainly makes it easier when I'm doing shoots outdoors where there's just way too much light, but I want to try and keep that aperture nice and wide. So having shot a couple of things with this lens, I've got to say the performance is fantastic. The sharpness is outstanding. It's even sharper than their 50mm, which was kind of touted as one of the sharpest anamorphics that you could get. It's even sharper than that. The focus ring is really nice and smooth, and it's not heavy, which is really nice because if you're using a follow focus, especially a remote one, it's not going to struggle to, the little motor is not going to struggle to turn that focus for you. It's going to be nice and smooth. One of the only caveats that I found is that the minimum focusing distance is 85 centimeters, which for a 35mm lens, I'd love to get much, much closer to my subject because it's such a wide lens. And 85 centimeters is not close enough for me. But you know what, that is a caveat that I can live with, that I can work around, because this lens is fantastic in every other aspect. I actually used this in one of my previous videos where I was talking about the Canon R5 and my 2 cents, my irrelevant 2 cents on it. And I don't know if you noticed, but I mean, the flaring on this is beautiful. It really captures that anamorphic look that people seek out. Now granted, the flaring might be a little bit too much for some cinematographers who don't like that very, prominent horizontal blue line in an anamorphic lens. But for me, I mean, I absolutely love it. I think if you're doing a shoot and you set a bunch of bare bulbs behind you so that they really drive the flaring on this thing, it's gonna look fantastic. Now, one thing you need to bear in mind is because it's an anamorphic lens, what it's basically gonna be doing is squishing your picture horizontally to add more image in around it, which means that then what you're gonna need to do is squish your image down vertically so that you get that normal 1:1 aspect ratio again, instead of the 1:1.33 times aspect ratio. So that's basically all I have to say about the lens for now. It's awesome. If you want an anamorphic lens that costs, a pittance of every single other anamorphic lens out there, get it. Just get it. It's worth getting just to see what it does. I'm really impressed with SIRUI. Seriously, well done, you guys. I cannot wait to see what else you make. All right, there's a link to the Indiegogo campaign in the description. Head over there, check it out if you want to sign up to get a discounted early bird offer. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Seriously, look at that.